Hi guys, so I've had my small pile of opportunity sitting up here on my shelf for about, well, I don't know, it's got to be at least 2 years. And while I'm good, I'm not buying any new stuff. Obviously, I've not been getting through any of this stuff. So I'm making it my goal this year to get through, paint all of this, but not only that, I'm going to be sticking it on eBay and, well, selling it. And I'm starting off with this lovely Blood Bowl box. I've still never played Blood Bowl, but obviously, as you guys know, I just love the miniatures. So that's kind of reason why I bought loads of these. So I've never played an actual game yet, even though I have built two proper full-size sort of playing boards stadiums. So yeah, go check out those videos. I will be making more because I just love making the boards up as well. Obviously, you need to get into this thing first. To say these have all most of these boxes on my shelf still have the cellophane on them. So yeah, completely unopened new boxes. So yeah, guys, the thing I'm looking into doing is commission work as well. So yeah, message me for more details about that. So obviously I've got me a little bit here. I need to get some tools because I haven't done anything on sprues for, well, quite a while. Obviously I've been going crazy 3D printing stuff. So yeah, I need some tools. So I reached out to Green Stuff World and kindly asked if they'd send me some, well, a basic set that you need. Well, it'll have everything in it you need to be able to do this sort of thing. And they kind of responded by, yeah, of course, here we go. So this isn't sponsored by Green Stuff World in any way, but they did send me this box for free, and obviously some cement glue. As obviously we need to cut the bits out with my little cutters, and then glue them together before we start painting. So yeah, say it's been a while since I've done anything off the sprue. I think my last videos will probably be making things with sprues. But say these boxes, I mean, I love looking at them because they look obviously nice up there. Um, but yeah, I want to start painting more of these boxes of miniatures. So I forgot how fun it was to obviously cut these things out because yeah, they're all numbered, but the numbers don't always make sense. As in, number one isn't necessarily by number two, by number three, by number four. They are a bit here, there, everywhere, which kind of makes it a bit of a game to find the pieces. And then simply is a case of cutting all the pieces out for whichever little person it is, and then gluing them together. You can use normal super glue. I kind of like using the cement glue because it does give you that little bit more time if you don't put it in the right place to be able to move it. And obviously, I've got this blue cement glue, and the reason why it's blue, I guess it's because it helps you see where you've put it. Because obviously, the other cement glue I've used in the past has always been clear, so makes no real odds. It still does the same job. This one just means you can see exactly where and how much of the glue you put on. So obviously the cement glue works by sort of, well, kind of like bonding the two bits together. It almost kind of like melts one into the other. Obviously it doesn't melt it enough to sort of lose the look of the thing. But yeah, it does obviously bond together really nicely. And then once dry, it is as good, if not better, than super glue. So before, obviously, we do paint these, they do need to be tidied up a little bit. Sometimes they have mold lines, and sometimes like this, where you cut them off the sprue, obviously you try and cut them as near to the miniature as you can, but sometimes you can't quite get in there. So it does leave little bits of the sprue still on them. And obviously I want these to lay nice and flat on their bases, so we're going to trim them up. Obviously with these blades, yeah, you're meant to cut away from yourself, but in reality, it's very difficult to do that. So just be careful with the blade. You don't cut yourself. I know I have in the past. So yeah, big disclaimer there. You take care when you're using, well, sharp instruments really. So normal glue to stick them on the base, even though I think you can still use a cement glue because obviously the base is still plastic. But for some reason, yeah, I've used normal glue. And there we go. There's one Norse man done. Just quite a few more to do. So it's a case of rinse and repeat. Keep cutting the bits out you need. So I follow the instructions because sometimes certain bits only really go on a certain person. So yeah, even though they are pretty simple to assemble, it's still worth following the instructions. And I say, yeah, rinse and repeat. Just do the same for all of them. Cut the bits out, glue them together, and then clean them all up so they're ready for painting. So, guys, yeah, I've never ever spilt any paints. Somehow I knocked this over, and as you can see, loads came out. Um, And if you know me, guys, I don't like mess. I find it very difficult to work when there's a mess. So obviously I have to clear things up as I go. But this just made a right. I must admit, I was laughing at this because say you see all these people with the Citadel contrast paints, and everyone's knocked over their paints. I've never ever done that, mainly because I 3D printed something to hold it. But yeah, this made a right mess. But not only obviously does it make a mess, it started peeling the stuff off my cutting mat. And again, guys, if you watch a lot of my videos, you'll have seen me go through quite a lot of cutting mats. And the reason for this is once they start getting a little bit dirty, I can't, yeah, it plays on my mind. So I have to get a new cutting mat. Well, this played on my mind something wrong. But obviously I wanted to paint these miniatures. So I had the cunning idea of just peeling everything off. So I spent the next 2 hours with some isopropyl alcohol rubbing onto this mat to get everything off. In the end, I say honestly, when I say 2 hours, we're talking at least 2 hours. There was still bits on there because obviously they had glue on them, so they wouldn't come off. And yeah, I cleaned up all my miniatures. As you see, I'm using a small little file as well just to help clear any mold lines. Apologies, it's not quite in focus. Yeah, after 5.5 years, you think I'd know where the camera is and to put the object right in the center. But no, because again, I love what I'm doing. So sometimes I get so engrossed in what I'm doing, I do forget I'm filming. So yeah, I got all the miniatures ready. As you can see, they're all on my little painting handles. Makes it nice and easy to well hold them and then paint them. And then yeah, the usual thing: priming in black, dry brush in white, and then using contrast paints of some description. So I think for this one, I use a little bit of a combination of dipping green stuff, well, dipping inks and the Army Painter speed paints, both equally as good as each other. Absolutely love using them. Yeah, as you can see, you probably put a bit too much white on my dry brush. It's not quite as dry as it should be. It's really funny because I do get a lot of emails saying, how do I always get the dry brush just right? Yeah, I don't. Sometimes, even with the dry brush palette there, sometimes I don't always take off the full amount of white. But hey ho, the thing is though, these things get painted. So you're not really going to tell that it's got too much white on them. So there we go. As you can see, yeah, they're all done in the little trays to hold them. And you will notice underneath, I've got a new cutting mat. Yeah, I did a day with that cutting mat. And I thought, no, this is just playing on my mind. It's really weird. Again, cutting mats. I've gone through so many because even when they just start getting a little bit dirty, and I can't clean them, then yeah, I have to get a new one. So yeah, as always, whenever I'm doing skin, I say this in every video, I don't like the contrast paint skins. So I always paint skins with normal sort of acrylics, and then do a wash over the top. So with these, again, like I always say, I do like copying the box, as in using the same sort of colors on the box. It just saves me having to think about what to do. Unless I was building a team specifically for me, and then I'd probably use more of my favorite colors. Obviously, my favorite color is orange. So yeah, I would probably get orange involved more. But as I'm just making these teams up to, well, to sell, I thought I would just sort of go with the box art. So yeah, guys, don't forget, I am sort of say looking at branching out into doing commission work. Again, though, I will say now, my level of painting is just tabletop ready. No more, no less. And even when I say tabletop ready, that kind of basically means they're not grey. They've got paint on them. So yeah, obviously my prices will be adjusted to the fact that my painting style isn't the mega painting style. Anyway, I'm going to start waffling on about that. But yeah, check out my eBay. There's a link down below. So when I do start getting through my pile of opportunity, I will be posting things on there. But as I say, if there's something you wanted me to paint, yeah, get in touch as well. So yeah, blatant advertising, but for myself for a change, which is obviously cool. So yeah, with these, obviously batch painting. Yeah, I love batch painting, especially with a team like this, because you know whatever color you're using, it's pretty much going to be on every single miniature. So this does make painting these so much quicker, so much easier. It is like a little production line. Again, this is where we're all different when it comes to painting. Someone might rather get one miniature and spend a good hour or more on them. For me, I like to, well, say my level is tabletop. So that's exactly what I want to do, is get these guys done and dusted, and then well play with them, even though I don't play Blood Bowl. But you know what I mean. I enjoy the painting bit. So yeah, it's just a case of going through, picking out whichever color I think sort of resembles the box art as near as, and then just go around and paint them. And I say for me, the fact of contrast paints really did change my outlook on painting, because it does make it so easy that you can get some decent results without having to try too hard. And it's not that I'm lazy. I just found when I started painting, I couldn't do the layering, I couldn't do feathering, I couldn't do any of that sort of wizardy stuff. But yeah, speed paints, contrast paints, they just do it all for you, because obviously they go into the nooks and crannies, so they are darker than the flat areas. Good old technical stuff there. Uh, um, but yeah, speed paints, contrast paints, they just work wonders. So loving how these came out. So nice and simple, not too many colours in all these. Then it is just a case then of using the wash just to sort of darken up the skin, and say give it some contrast basically, because that's what makes miniatures look good, is having lighter and darker areas, um, as you would do in sort of normal life, I guess. So yeah, good old wash over everything. So typically will go just over the skin and any metallic sort of looks, because I find even with the Army Painter Speed Paint metallic range, their paints, they go on a treat, they go on really well, but they don't really sort of pull in nooks and crannies to be darker and lighter. So yeah, all metallic bits, they'll get a little bit of a wash over them as well. I do prefer the sepia washes, and I do prefer the lighter sort of browns to the darker browns. And as you can see, yeah, this sort of pulls in the recesses, nooks and crannies really well. Just gives it a bit more definition, I guess, is what I'm sort of going for. And then basing, yeah, I've got a nice, simple, easy base that I kind of do with, well, a lot of the miniatures, and that's this grass stuff. So I think there's 4 different types of grass in there, as in different shades and even different sort of lengths, textures. And then literally, it is just a case of putting some PVA glue on the base and then sprinkling the grass on top. Again, nice and simple, nice and easy, but I think pretty effective. It just takes the base and gives it that something. Especially, obviously, if you are going to play these miniatures on a board that has, well, a grass board. They kind of then sort of merge in or blend in, looking quite decent. So yeah, it doesn't take too long doing that. And again, usual sort of thing, because I'm doing loads at once. It is just a case of rinse and repeat, and do this for, I don't know, how many is there in this box? Is it 10? 10 miniatures? I think that might, yeah, 12, I think. Is it 10 miniatures and then 2 pigs? I'm just trying to count the box. It's right in front of me. I know there's 14 miniatures. So yeah, 12 actual sort of people, and then 2 little piggies. And with these, again, it's just another little thing I kind of do with these, because they are going to be going on the board, which is going to have lines on it. So I should really have done this on just a few of the miniatures. I actually did it on all of them, but obviously they wouldn't all be like by the edge touch line or whatever it is. Yeah, using the masking tape just makes it nice and easy to get a relatively sort of straight line. And then just it is a case of using my dry brush, but obviously it's not dry, and then just dabbing the paint on. So not pushing too hard, so you don't want to push all the grass down. And yeah, it's just again another one of these little simple things. I think it looks good, but I should have probably done it on say just a few of these and not all of them, because it does now mean they need to all be sort of standing by the edge line, because they've got the line going through them. Anyway, hey ho, my miniatures. Well, my miniatures. It could be your miniatures. So say, guys, check out my eBay link down below, as I will be sort of posting, well, whatever I sort of paint up on there, because basically this then means I can then go and buy more miniatures to paint up. And again, with the commission work, any commission work I do sort of get, whatever miniatures it is, there probably will be a video of me painting them, just because obviously I like painting miniatures, and I'm guessing that's why you guys are here, to see me paint miniatures and to, well, waffle on and on. So just tidying up the rest of the base there. I thought I was done, but then I looked again at the picture, and they've kind of got a yellow stripe going through their shoulder pads. So as I was trying to sort of duplicate and make them look like the box artwork, yeah, I thought I would do the same with them. Obviously, I haven't really got too much of a steady hand, so again, using the masking tape just made it a bit easier to know that I'm going to get a relatively straight line. Some of it needed tidying up afterwards. And yeah, love it. Although I did change the things to gold in the end because the yellow, yeah, I did like the yellow, so I did gold. And then finally put some matte varnish. So this is from the good old Colour Forge. So they do a whole range of colours, but they also do matte varnish. And this is how they've come out. So yeah, really pleased with how they look. This is just one of the boards I've got. This is a sevens board. I do have obviously bigger boards. I think I made three boards in the end, two big size ones and one small ones. These are from Kraken Studios. I'll leave a link down below because if you can now get a fully 3D printed board from Kraken Studios. So if you don't have a 3D printer, don't worry, as you can now get, well, one of their full boards, which is pretty cool. So yeah, love how these little guys turned out. Yeah, I think they look, well, half decent. Tabletop ready at the very least. So yeah, guys, check out the links down below if you want to buy my stuff. And if you do want any boxes sort of painted, again, contact me and I'll give you more details. Okay, guys, I'm going to go now. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, leave comments, all that fun stuff. And yeah, let me know which box you want to see me paint next. I might have to go back to the front of the video and stop it to see what I've got. But yeah, I am going to try and get through. Yeah, I'm going to try and get through all my boxes there this year. There we go. There's a bold statement if ever there was. Anyway, I'm going to keep waffling, but I'm going to go now. You guys take care. Bye.